What is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the deck that Diego Cassiraga used to take down the 2017 World Championship in the Masters Division. That is Gardevoir GX. Diego did win the tournament with this deck, so huge congratulations, and shout outs to him. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and hop in, take a look at this deck, what makes it work, and what led Diego to winning the tournament here. So, Gardevoir GX, the 230 HP Stage 2 Fairy-type Pokemon with the ability Secret Spring. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may attach a Fairy Energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And then Infinite Force, 30 damage. This attack does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. So really excellent synergy here. Our ability lets us attach more energy, and our attack does more damage based on how many energy we have attached, including the energy that our opponent has attached as well. So we really don't have that much of a damage cap. We can hit really high numbers really quickly with Infinite Force. We do also have Twilight GX as an option here. Shuffle 10 cards from your discard pile into your deck. Gonna be great against those Trashalanche Gardevoir decks to put items from our discard pile back into our deck to really help us prevent the damage that they can do with Trashalanche. So go ahead here, look at the rest of the Pokemon lineup. We do have a 4-2-1-3 lineup of Gardevoir here, 4 routes, 2 Kirlias, and the Gardevoir. We also have 1 copy of Gallade with the Premonition ability and the Sensitive Blade attack. Gonna help us do a bunch of damage to anything that's weak to fighting, such as Drampa GX, and also just add some consistency to the deck with Premonition. So good options there. Also, speaking of consistency, we have 3 copies of Tapu Lele with that Wonder Tag ability, letting us search out a supporter card and putting it in our hand. And then we also have the Octillery, a 2-1 line of this guy with Abyssal Hand. Once during our turn, letting us draw until we have 5 cards in our hand. Just helps us to continue to draw cards every single turn so that we can just keep hitting what we need. We also have 1 copy of Vulpix here, along with 1 copy of DNC. Most of the lists leading up to this tournament chose to include one or the other. Very few included both, but I really like this inclusion here, actually. If we do go first, we can try to set up that turn 2 Sparkling Wish pretty easily, but if we do go second, we can easily get that turn 1 Beacon as well, since we just have to Bridget this guy down and then attach an energy to any basic Pokemon, retreat it, and then go ahead and use Beacon since it doesn't cost any energy at all. So let's go ahead, expand the list here, take a look at the rest of what Diego had to work with. I do want to mention as well, guys, that this list is different than what is on Pokemon.com. That list is actually incorrect. I did get this list from the Corporation, Facebook page, which is Diego's TCG team, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. You can check out that Facebook page. Definitely drop them a like if you want to show your support over there. But yes, this is the list that Diego used, not the one that's on Pokemon.com. This is the correct World Championship winning list. We do have 2 copies of Field Blower, letting us remove a Pokemon Tool card or Stadium in play. We've also got 3 rare candies, going to help us get from Ralts all the way up to Gardevoir as quickly as possible. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher and 1 copy of Super Rod as our recovery options. Really great to get Pokemon back. Also, putting energies back with Super Rod can be very nice at times. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards from our hand to search for a Pokemon. And 4 copies of VS Seeker to let us search our discard pile for a supporter card and potentially reusing it again. We also have 1 copy of Acerola, a card I really like a lot in this deck, letting us pick up a Pokemon that has any damage on it and all cards attached to it, so we can just totally reset the damage that's on a Gardevoir and then try to relay it back down and keep going from there. We also have 1 copy of Bridget, gonna be great on that first turn of the game, of course, to let us go Tapu Lele for Bridget and then get 3 basic Pokemon into play. 2 copies of Guzma here, letting us switch our opponent's benched Pokemon with their active Pokemon, and then also switching our active Pokemon with one of our benched Pokemon, so kind of prevents us from getting stalled out with something with a high retreat cost in the active, but also helps us bring up something on our opponent's bench that we might want to take a knockout on. We've also got the 1 copy of Hexmaniac, going to be really key against things such as Greninja and Volcanium. Greninja is kind of a tough matchup, but hopefully we don't run into any of those today. We've got 3 copies of Anne and 4 copies of Professor Sycamore, just the most consistent draw supporters in the game right now. And then we also have 1 copy of Skyla, helping us search out trainer cards. Going to be good to find things like Field Blower, help us find rare candy. Maybe if we need to find something like a Choice Band or a Rescue Stretcher, Skyla can find us whatever we need to get. We do have onto the energy now, 1 copy of Wonder Energy, gonna be good against things such as Drampa GX that can't remove energy with Righteous Edge, gonna be good against something like Stardust Jirachi, prevent Shadow Stitching from a Greninja, and also Confusion from an Espeon GX, or being devolved by an Espeon EX. So there's a lot of really relevant things for Wonder Energy to have an effect against, so hopefully we'll see some of those things come into play and see why Wonder Energy is so good. We also have 4 double colorless energies and 7 fairy energies to round the list out. There is the deck. Once again, huge congratulations to Diego on his tournament win, and without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead, hop in here, grab a game, and see what happens. As always, if you enjoy these videos, guys, definitely be sure to leave a like down below. Helps me out a ton and lets me know that you're enjoying seeing what we're doing over here on this channel. So Dimas here is playing a Psychic Grass Lightning deck, so some sort of Decidueye variant, I would imagine. But we will get to go first. Excuse me. And yeah, this is actually a really, really solid start. We get the turn 1 DNC start, turn 1 Bridget in our opening hand. We have an energy to attach to DNC. This is looking really, really solid, and especially since we will get some mulligans here. So Super Scoop Ups and Escape Ropes. That is pretty interesting. And Grass Energy, Guzma. So yeah, looking like most likely going to be some sort of Decidueye deck. And, oh, Golisopod, actually. That makes more sense since we saw Scoop Ups and Escape Ropes. So, yeah, Golisopod. Not Decidueye. So we'll go ahead here, Bridget. We'll grab a Ralts, 2 Ralts and a Remoraid. Let's make sure Octillery is in the deck. It is indeed. We prized a Gardevoir GX and our Gallade, actually. We do have 3 rare candies, prized an Ultra Ball. We did prize Skyla, so that takes away some options next turn to go. Oh no, we have a Skyla in our hand, never mind. So we could Skyla for rare candy next turn, potentially. And I think we will just go Bridget, grab these 3 guys, throw them down on the bench, and we'll attach an energy to the active, and we will pass onto our opponent's turn. This could be a Golisopod Garbodor deck, which would be a rematch of the finals, technically, although I don't believe the Japanese player who used... ooh, just a pass onto our turn here. Rough hand from my opponent. So let's go ahead and... we can Skyla for rare candy, evolve to Gardevoir... and then Ultra Ball away N and Choice Band for Octillery. Or we could get rid of Energy and N. Well, go ahead and Skyla. Let's count how many Fairy Energies we have. We'll definitely grab Rare Candy. We did not prize any Fairies. We do have Super Rod. We don't have Super Rod. So Super Rod's prized, but once we get that back, we can put the Fairy Energy back. We actually don't really need the Fairy Energy, and I'd rather keep the Choice Band, actually, because we really need to boost our damage against these Golisopods. So we'll go ahead and grab Octillery. And if we can indeed draw into a Kirlia with this and get another Gardevoir GX in play on the second turn, that would be pretty nuts. We'll go ahead and attach the Choice Band. This does open up some Field Blower plays, but my opponent really didn't do much on the last turn. We do get an attachment for the turn at least. And, yeah, so we'll go ahead and attach, and we'll just use Sparkling Wish, get a Kirlia out, and evolve the Routes. Next turn, we can go for the Guzma, or the N, excuse me, and try to get the knockout on Wimpod. All we need would be a double colorless, and my opponent's actually going to concede, saying, hey, I need another turn to draw something, and they didn't draw it there. So next turn, all we needed to do was in and find any energy, actually, would have been enough to knock out the Wimpod with an energy already attached to it. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and click done, go on to the next one and see what we get. And we do get a pack. We'll try to remember to open that up at the end, so stay tuned to the end of the video if you want to see us open a Burning Shadows pack. And we'll go ahead here, grab another game, and see what we can find. And we find one right away, actually. Going up against Frankie here, playing a Lightning colorless Psychic deck, so could be Drampa Garbodor. We do win the flip once again, so we'll go ahead and choose to go first, of course. And we start Diancie 2 games in a row, but unfortunately, our hand is pretty poor outside of that. Yeah, our hand is really not that great. If we top deck like Remoraid or something, we can go turn 2 Sparkling Wish onto the Remoraid to get Octillery in play, but we're going to see, we're waiting on my opponent to choose an active. We'll of course choose Diancie, bench the Ralts. We're going first, so we'll just hold it. No reason to bench it yet. There's a chance we theoretically may want to Ultra Ball it away if we top deck Ultra Ball, but I really doubt that we would Ultra Ball away the Ralts. And yeah, we'll see. We'll go ahead and click done and see what my opponent flips over there. We see an EV, so it looks like Espeon Gardevoir as opposed to the Drampa Gardevoir. So maybe playing. I was gonna say maybe the colorless is Shaman, but the colorless, of course, was probably Eevee. So we're actually just gonna have to click done, go on to my opponent's turn, and let's see if they maybe have an N for us. Please have an N for us. But yeah, this is something that can happen with these Stage 2 decks. Sometimes you just draw a couple of evolutions that really doesn't do too much for you. It looks like we're going to see Parallel City Ralts come out, or Guzma bring up the Ralts. Choice Band going to go onto the active, and a pass. Wow. And we top deck Sycamore. So we could just retreat. Yeah, I think we need to just retreat and Sparkling Wish onto Ralts. I think that's the safest play instead of just discarding 2 Gardevoirs. Our opponent didn't do anything really, so we'll go ahead and just Sparkling Wish, bring out a Kirlia, and we'll go on to my opponent's turn, see if they're able to top deck anything. So 2 games so far today where our opponent just really hasn't had much of anything going. Looks like they did get a Trubbish on the bench, so that's something at least, and an N. So I don't know why they wouldn't have benched the Trubbish or played the N last turn. Maybe just trying to mess up our Sparkling Wishes? I'm not really sure about my opponent's line of play there. But we do draw back into Gardevoir plus Fairy Energy. We do see the Energy Evolution from the Eevee, getting up into an Espeon GX. So we'll have to find that Wonder Energy if we can. And gonna go ahead and Psybeam, just confuse Diancie. So we could Acerola pick up Diancie and then 369, hit it for a decent amount. But we really want to try to find more stuff this turn, so I think we're just gonna end. We'll go ahead and Secret Spring to the Gardevoir. We'll go ahead and bench Vulpix, because we may want to go Beacon this turn, depending on what we draw off of N. Oh, I did forget about the Parallel City. That's a kind of a mistake on my part, but we'll go ahead and just end here. I mean, we could hit it for 369, 90. But then it's just going to confuse us, so we'll go ahead and just end here. We do get DCE to attach for the turn. We can Ultra Ball, go get a... I think if we Ultra Ball, we go get a... we Ultra Ball away, like, Rare Candy Hex. Maybe Fairy Energy Hex and go get the Remoraid. I'm kind of regretting benching Vulpix now, not gonna lie. So I think we get rid of Hex. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We'll go ahead and get rid of another Ultra Ball. I think we're just going to go get a Tapu Lele with this. And we will go ahead and play it in case my opponent does get Garbotoxin next turn. We could get Acerola and then just retreat, hit him with Lele for 20, 40, 60. He can't knock us out, and then we can Acerola pick it back up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, 150 is what he would cap at. And I don't hate that. Just kind of chipping away at this guy a little bit. We only have 2 items in the discard, so I don't hate that. I think we will go ahead and do that. Smack him for 20 with Lele. And then next turn we can easily knock it out with Gardevoir GX after an Acerola, and then we get Lele back to get another supporter. Would be unfortunate if we get Garbotoxin locked here, but we'll see if that is indeed what happens. We do see Garbotoxin. Do we see the tool? We also don't know. Some people have gone up from a 3 Trash Lynch, 3 Trash Lynch, 1 Garbotoxin split to a 2-2 split, so he may be playing the 2-2 split. He's also playing the Stomp Off Trubbish, which is kind of interesting. But we'll see what my opponent does. They could divide and knock out DNC plus put some damage on Gardevoir. That would prevent us from using Acerola to pick up the Lele, but we could always retreat it. I don't know. This is kind of risky, I guess. Maybe we should have just gotten a draw supporter with the Acerola, but we'll see what my opponent Ultra Balls away. Gets rid of a Ninja Boy and an EB, actually, so Ninja Boy kind of interesting. Not something we see all that often. And he's going to go get the Espeon EX. Okay, so we need to find our Wonder Energy if we can. We might just see Divide put 10 damage counters onto the Gardevoir. So that way, or 8 damage counters is all he really needs. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20. So if we top deck a Choice Band, actually maybe knocking out Vulpix here. I'm fine with that. I really kind of regret benching that in the first place, actually, so gonna knock that out. So let's see where he puts the rest of his damage. Gonna move it onto DNC. Not gonna be enough to knock out DNC. Kind of interesting. And yeah, we'll take a prize, but let's see what we get here. We get a Guzma. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we could just retreat and knock out Espeon. And our opponent really doesn't have much. Other than that, we could Guzma, knock out... We can't knock out anything if we Guzma. 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. So 20 short that way. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And we only have 2 items in the discard, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and Acerola pick up the DNC. I guess no reason really not to. We'll retreat. And attach. We should have Secret Spring, but it doesn't really matter. And then we'll Infinite Force for the knockout here. 150, we'll take a couple prizes. We get via Secret Fairy Energy, so that's really solid stuff. He doesn't have a way to... He'd have to get Floatstone plus... Floatstone plus EV plus Energy in order to confuse us. So we'll see if he gets that, and he won't get that since he did attach to Trubbish. Trashalanche would only hit for 40 damage. So really not doing much. 3, 6, 9, 12. It does get Floatstone. I'm going to put it on the Garbotoxin. And we could take this turn to just Twilight, put some items from our discard into our deck, but we haven't played that many, so I don't really feel pressured to do that. We'd have to get 4 energies or 3 energies in a Choice Band in order to knock out Espeon. And my opponent has discarded a decent amount of energy, actually. 4 energies in the discard pile. So it looks like they're going to go get an Eevee here. Won't be able to use that Energy Evolution ability. And just pass on to our turn. We do get a Ralts on the top, which is pretty nice. I don't know that I necessarily even want to end, though. 3, 6. 9, 12. So we could just two-shot Espeon and just chill. My opponent does only have one card, but I feel like if they didn't have a supporter, they would have Ultra Balled for Lele and gotten a supporter before attaching the tool, but they didn't do that. We could just attach to Lele, hit this thing for a little bit. 3, 6, 9, 12. Da, da, da. Sorry guys, I know I'm taking a little bit of time, but we could actually just chill and Hex here. That's another item in the discard pile though, and he's already got Garbotoxin, so no reason to really play that. I think we'll just Infinite Force for 120. Set up a knockout on Espeon if we can. But we'll see if he did have what he's got to work with. We didn't really need anything else that turn. We would have had to have gotten a lot of stuff in order to knock out the Espeon. We'd have had to gotten Field Blower plus a bunch of other things. So this is kind of just a little bit slower, but also helps us get a little more set up. So Ultra Ball, let's see what he gets. Gonna get rid of Parallel Field Blower. Gonna find the Espeon GX. So if he got a Floatstone, he could confuse us, which is pretty annoying. No, thank goodness. Okay, and we get an N. So we'll go ahead and bench Ralts 3, 6, 9, 12. We'll attach Choice Band back here, and we're just gonna go ahead and N. Maybe could have done that last turn. I don't know. I think it's okay. We could Ultra Ball and go find a Kirlia. We're not really set up very well, and he could N us to 2 after this. Twilight GX won't do too much for us. We do only have the 2 items in our discard pile still. We could Ultra Ball away Rescue Stretcher Guzma for Kirlia. That's 2 more items, 4 total. I think that's okay. Get the last Kirlia. We didn't get down Octillery this game. And we'll just Infinite Force. Take the knockout, go down to 2 prizes remaining. As we get Fairy Energy Lele, so if we top deck Field Blower, we can Field Blower the Floatstone plus the Parallel City and use Lele to grab Sycamore. But he will be able to just confuse us here. Psychic is hitting a lot. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. But not knocking us out even if he gets a Choice Band. Even if he gets a Choice Band, would not knock us out. And he has already divided. Choice Band gonna go onto the Espeon. Psychic into... or Psybeam into Psychic would knock us out though, so... We'll see if he goes for Psybeam. He does attach the DCE, so maybe just going to go for the Psychic. Rescue Stretcher. Finding the Espeon EX, okay. So maybe trying to set up some de-evolution plays. But if he does devolve us, we do get Gardevoir back into our hands, so that's something. He is down 4 Psychics, 5, 6, including what's on the field. We do see Necrozma GX. Interesting card. But does have to attach to it twice. So we'll see what he retreats into here, and if he goes for Psychic or Psybeam. Psybeam wouldn't knock us out, and then all we have to do is Infinite Force knock this out. So I imagine he'll Psybeam. But let's see what happens. My opponent taking their time to make their decision here. He could also just retreat to Trubbish and Stomp Off. But then we do have Guzma in the discard, so we just go Guzma, retreat, all that stuff. Psybeam will confuse us. So let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We're down a decent amount of energy. We could Ultra Ball get Gardevoir and then in. We could via Seeker Acerola. I don't hate that. Just hit it for 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, I think we'll just do that. Via Seeker Acerola. Pick this guy up. He's letting me know I have a good deck. I'll let them know you have a good deck. So we'll go ahead and bench Ralts, evolve to Kirlia. Evolve to Gardevoir. Can't use Secret Spring, unfortunately, but can use Infinite Force for a decent chunk of damage, excuse me. 150 damage with just 1 energy attached. So now we can, next turn, Tapu Lele, double colorless, knock this out. We could, we do need to top deck like Guzma or something like that if he retreats it, but we have options here. We actually can't retreat Gardevoir because it does have a 2 retreat cost. Trash Lynch is hitting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 damage, 130 with a Choice Band. So able to set up a knockout with Necrozma, but I'm going to take a while to attach to that. Floatstone going on to Trubbish, Floatstone going on to Necrozma, tools on everything, and we're just going to see my opponent in us to 2. And we draw Guzma Super Rod. Not the best cards we could have drawn there. But we'll see what my opponent goes for. Psybeam, gonna confuse us, so if we flip a heads here, we would just win the game. We do get Sycamore. If we just had... yeah, we'll just Sycamore. We'll Super Rod back Fairies, and I guess the Vulpix since we have to. And we'll Sycamore. We can start building up. We could Rare Candy Gardevoir. And try to like Twilight. I think we'll just go ahead and evolve this guy. Attach the Fairy. And I think we'll... yep, we'll flip for the win, guys. If we flip heads, we win. If we flip tails, we go on another turn. My opponent does still have 5 prizes. Not really threatening many knockouts or anything. I guess if we flip tails, he could devolve us. So maybe it's better not to. But if he devolves us, we get another Gardevoir in play. So that wouldn't be the worst thing. And he only takes 1 prize. So we'll see if we flip heads. We flip tails. So my opponent can devolve us, but that opens up top decks for Guzma or via Seeker. Or we already have 2 Guzma down, but we have 3 via Seeker left. Yeah, maybe... I don't know. It's tough there, guys. But we do flip tails, hit ourselves in confusion. Next turn, if he doesn't retreat this, we can just DCE retreat and win. Still not knocking us out, though. He will Guzma. Let's see what he brings up. Gonna bring up the Lele, go into Espeon, and just devolve. Knock this out. But we do have a Rare Candy to get a replacement Gardevoir. Setting up a play with Necrozma. This game is not over, guys. But he does only take the 1 prize. So on to our turn. We get a Wonder Energy, which would have been nice last turn, but it is what it is. 20, 40, 60. We'll bridge it, put down Remoraid. We really shouldn't bridge it and put down anything, honestly, because it's just another thing that can get Lysander stalled out, or Guzma stalled out. We won't Rare Candy because he could just evolve. We'll just Energy Drive for 60 here. If he does come up in Black Ray... Oh, he's already divided. He actually can't even Black Ray. That's a mistake on my part. Maybe my opponent doesn't realize that either. But we have a lot of options here on the next turn. We can just retreat and attach and knock this out with a Secret Spring, or a Infinite Force. So he really needs to go into a 1-prizer. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, so 140. If he does have a Choice Band, he could, or he does have a Choice Band. If he has a Gardevoir, he could knock out Lele with the Trashalanche, which wouldn't be good. We do have the return KO on Gardevoir at least, but it's not looking hot. So my opponent's trying to figure out the best way to set up this end game for themselves. This game is not over, but my opponent just chooses to pass 3, 6, 9, 12. That is enough, so we just go retreat into Gardevoir GX, attach, and Infinite Force for the knockout and the game. That last turn took a little while for my opponent, so they may have just timed out there. But we will go ahead and grab another game for today's video. The first game was pretty fast. And we do get 50 coins as well. Nice. So go ahead and grab another game. We do have a pack of Burning Shadows to open after this game as well, so make sure you stick around to see that. And again, finding a game right away, going up against Louisa 010, Grass, Water, Colorless, Darkness. Vespiquen with like Zoroark. So we'll choose to go first. We do start Vulpix. Not bad. We do have a kind of dead hand otherwise, though. So we'll click Done. And we top deck another Ralts, so that's not too bad. We'll attach an Energy, and we'll just pass. My opponent could Guzma up the Ralts and DCE knock it out, so maybe we could have held it for that reason. DCE. Gonna go ahead and grab Zoroark and Bridget. Let's see, maybe just a... I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what he gets with Bridget. I'm trying to figure out what the grass type would be. Golisopod. I'm just not used to thinking about Golisopod, guys. I'm sorry. But yes, we do see Golisopod there. My opponent's gonna retreat into the Vulpix and use Beacon themselves. Gonna go grab a Zoroark and a Golisopod. We could Guzma here, bring up the Wimpod, force my opponent to have something like a Floatstone, some way to retreat. I don't hate it, honestly. So we'll bring up Wimpod. We know they got Zoroark, so they do have options there as far as retreating goes. We'll just retreat into Vulpix, attach Energy, and we'll Beacon for a Lele and a Kirlia. Pretty slow start from us so far, but we'll see if we can make something happen. On to my opponent's turn. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we need 6 energies in order to knock out a Golisopod with 1 energy on it. Or 5 energies and a Choice Band. And my opponent is just going to go for Sycamore here. Would be pretty unlucky if they didn't find Floatstone, but it could definitely happen. Gonna go ahead and stand in here. Let's see if they have Floatstone plus Grass Energy. There's a Wimpod. DCE, actually just gonna use Mind Jack. No, gonna retreat and just continue to Beacon here. Continue to try to get set up. So that we could also take this opportunity to set up. We know we have another Lele in the deck, so we could Beacon for that. Because we could... he's actually going to go grab Zoroark and Lele. Interesting. So we get via Seeker. We can Guzma Golisopod and hit it. Well, we can't really hit. We have to Lele for like rare candy, basically. I don't want to bench too many things. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. If we have 4 benched Pokemon, that's not the end of the world. So go ahead and Lele. In or Sycamore or just... Oh, we prized Skyla. Never mind. Should have noticed that, guys. Should have noticed that. So we'll just grab in. We prized Skyla. So we'll attach Fairy Energy here. We just kind of want to spread our energy around. Don't want to give him too much of a target. And we'll just go ahead and end. So we could bench Diancie. That doesn't do much for us. We have Gallade for next turn. That also doesn't do too much. We'll just go grab Kirlia Gardevoir, I think. We could grab Remoraid. We'll just grab Kirlia Gardevoir, though. Gallade does hit pretty hard on the Zoroarks, but can't really do much otherwise to Glissopods. Oh, Zoroark Break as well. So let's see if my opponent has an end to get rid of our Kirlia and Gardevoir. They'll probably go for that if they have it. Choice Band's going to go onto Glisopod. They could Guzma, bring up a Kirlia, knock it out, which would be unfortunate. Gonna get the Rainbow down. See, they either need Floatstone, they can stand in retreat, or they need a Guzma. Let's see what they've got. Maybe could have gotten a... Ooh, Sycamore. Okay, nice. So our Kirlias are safe, at least. Unless they play like Escape Rope. But if that's the case, I think we just send up Lele and let it kind of take a hit. Interesting choosing to Floatstone Vulpix as opposed to Zoroark. Maybe wanting to save a Choice Band for Zoroark. And Ultra Ball here, gonna get rid of a couple cards. Gets rid of DCE and Lele. Down 3 double colorless already. Does find another Zoroark though. And gonna go ahead and first impression take the KO. We can hit this thing for a decent amount of chip damage. Rescue Stretcher, not gonna use that. We'll go ahead and evolve to Gardevoir, excuse me. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We would need DCE. Yeah, we can't do it this turn. So we could just bridge it and kind of chill. Get down 2 Kirlias. We could N as well. Force him to have something like the... yeah, see, he didn't put the Floatstone on a Zoroark, which is so weird. I think we should just bridge it, get some more Ralts in play, honestly. Seems so slow, but we'll get a Ralts and a Remoraid. And another Ralts. I don't want to boost our damage from Zoroark too much, so we'll just get a Ralts and a Remoraid. We'll go ahead and Infinite Force. Hit him for 90. Next turn we just need 1 more energy and we'll be able to knock it out. But this does open up the Acerolas / Guzmas, all those things. But we'll see what he goes for here. And gonna get a Floatstone so they can go ahead and stand in retreat. Really still unsure why the Floatstone, the initial Floatstone went onto Vulpix. Does play Darkness Energy as well, so maybe it's just more Zoroark focused with Glissopods thrown in there as well. That wouldn't surprise me too much. And here's an instance where the Wonder Energy is a little unfortunate because we can't Secret Spring it, but he is just gonna hit us for 40. Doesn't do too much though. This is where we could Guzma, retreat, 3, 6, 9, 12, Yeah, I think we should just Guzma knock this out, honestly. We do put more energy on this, but he's not really threatening much. So we'll go ahead and Ultra Ball away in and Ralts. In and in Wonder. Wonder doesn't do a lot for us because we can't throw it down. With Secret Spring, I think we'll get rid of the tough call. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, I think we'll just get rid of Ralts here. Go grab Gardevoir. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, that's enough. Just gotta double check, triple check, all that stuff, guys. So we can go Gardevoir, DCE, Guzma, bring up the Golisopod. We could have also done this, retreated, and then gotten Octillery instead of the Gardevoir, but I want to just keep our energies in play, not retreat off energies if we don't have to. We'll take the knockout. As we get Remoraid plus Ultra Ball, so not bad. My opponent's going to send up a Vulpix. These are both Kirlias, right? Yep, Kirlia and Kirlia, so we need to find rare candy for this one. He is going to Field Blower away the Choice Band. We can Ultra Ball for Octillery next turn, plus N. But my opponent looks like they're just going to go ahead and Mind Jack us once again. Only hitting for, what, 3, 6, 9, 12. I mean, they are hitting us for 100. So that's a decent chunk. And we need to hit 3, 6, 9, 12. We need one more energy, actually, so that is a little annoying. And then they can return knock us out with just a Dark Energy. But we'll Ultra Ball, get rid of N and Remoraid. Octillery. Do we attach here or here? We'll probably draw a Fairy Energy off of the Abyssal Hand plus the Sycamore, but I think we will just guarantee it, go ahead and attach it. Wonder Energy doesn't do much in addition to the boost anyway, so see if we can draw a rare candy. We do not. Sycamore is unfortunate. There's a lot of stuff to Sycamore away. But I think we should go ahead and just Sycamore, honestly. Want to find Rare Candy Gardevoir if we can. Rare Candy. No Gardevoir. We do only have the one left. We can Secret Spring, however, onto the bench. And then just Infinite Force. He can return, knock us out with just a Darkness Energy or a First Impression. Actually, First Impression wouldn't knock us out unless he got a Choice Band. So he needs a Choice Banded First Impression or a Darkness Energy. Does get the Rainbow Energy, which basically counts. Gonna choose to stand in as opposed to just retreating. Gets a Drampa out as well. And Foul Play gonna knock us out with an Infinite Force. 3, 6, 9, 12. So we need one more energy. Should be pretty easy to knock this out, and then we just go down to 2 prizes. And then he doesn't really have a great way to knock Gardevoir out. We can, however... Super Rod back Gardevoir, Ralts, Kirlia? Yeah. We can Ultra Ball away Hex and Deancey. Get a Gardevoir. We do have Ace of Rolla in the deck. Maybe could have put back Lele instead of the Gardevoir. But we have Rescue Stretcher to get Lele, potentially. We'll go ahead and Rare Candy up into Gardevoir. 3, 6, 9, 12. So we need one more. We'll Abyssal Hand for 3. Don't find it. 15 cards in deck. And I think we'll go ahead and Sycamore here. We do have a Guzma left. If we didn't have a Guzma left, I might not do this, since we will lose all our choice bands, but I don't really want it to end to 3 and whiff the energy, so we really need to try to draw the energy here. So we do have a Guzma option still, and we do draw energy, 3, 6, 9. We'll Secret Spring to the active. We'll DCE to the bench one. We can Field Blower away this guy, and this guy doesn't really matter. This does matter though, because it keeps him from getting the boosted first impression damage, or forces him to have other cards if he wants to get the boosted first impression damage. And we will hit 150, knock it out. We get Skyla off the prizes. We know we have Lele in the discard plus a Guzma in the deck. So there's some options there. He does have a replacement Floatstone to put on Drampa. Gonna get another Zorua down, and just gonna end us down to 2. We do have Octillery, however, which is really nice. And we get 2 energies. So yeah, just gonna concede 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Yeah, that's enough to knock out basically anything. All we need to do is hit the Guzma on the Octillery or Rescue Stretcher, and we can Guzma up any of his EXs and knock it out with our active Gardevoir. So good 3 games there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I'm not going to forget, I know last time I did won a pack in the video, I forgot to open it up, so we'll go open it up real quick as we get a free Lugia EX as well. I also take a second real quick at the end of the video here to talk real quickly about my tournament experience at Worlds. I obviously did not do as well as I had hoped. I did go 2 and 4 on day 1, so not making it through to day 2, unfortunately. Really hoping I'll be able to get back this coming year, though, and have a chance to prove myself again. But we'll go ahead and open up this pack. I did, however, do pretty well at the Anaheim Open, ending up at 6-1-1, which was enough to get me 18th place. So not quite top 16 or anything like that. Top 16 would have been great because I would have gotten a lot more points, as well as another booster box worth of cards. But 18th place does get me 60 championship points and a good start to the next season. So we see Crabominable here, and our rare is a Gardevoir GX. So fitting that at the end of the Gardevoir video, we do get a Gardevoir GX out of the last pack. So as always, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave a like down below. Thanks to everyone who came up to me at Worlds and said hello. It meant a lot to meet all of you guys, those of you who watch my videos and came up and said so many kind words that you enjoyed watching them. So yeah, big shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching. That is going to do it for me. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos later this week. Going to be covering a couple more of the Worlds decks, and then we'll start diving into expanded and post-rotation format decks. So leave a like if you enjoyed, as always, guys, and I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, take care.